everybody, I'm Jackie Jing with IGN, and right now I am with Laura and David, and we are talking about the Emmy nominations. They came out this morning. Game of Thrones dominated again. Netflix making waves. All right, Laura, I'm going to start with you. We got a lot to talk about.
We do, so much. This is the first year that Netflix has actually overtaken HBO in total nominations.
Yeah, that's huge.
I think HBO has 108 altogether, and Netflix has 112.
Edged them out.
It's a very close thing. Game of Thrones is still the most nominated show with 22 nominations, and then I think it's Saturday Night Live and Westworld both have 21, and then Handmaid's Tale has 20. So it's like HBO's still holding on at the top there, but just the amount of Netflix shows that there are, obviously they managed to edge in a lot of other categories.
So David, what do you think this means? I mean, it seems pretty landmark.
Well, I mean, it means that HBO is going to respond to this. They're going to start, you know, we've heard already they're going to start cranking out more shows. They're gonna, they want content, you know, on a daily basis as opposed to just a once a week or a big new show every 3 months. You know, that's always been kind of their mantra. They take their time. It's HBO. We're prestige television.
Quality over quantity.
You wait on us, whereas Netflix is like, we're gonna give you 3-4 shows every single week, whether you like it or not. So this is gonna have a response from HBO. But I think it's impressive that HBO still has 108 nominations. Even with their slate, which is nowhere near as big as Netflix.
Absolutely.
So HBO is still going strong here, but what do you think this means for Netflix, Laura?
I think
what are they thinking right now?
I think it's good for Netflix because the company hasn't actually won anything in any of the big categories. They've never won Best Drama, they've never won Best Comedy, they haven't won any of the lead actor or actress nominations in the past. They've always gotten a lot of nominations, but to actually go over the top and maybe take it from a Game of Thrones or a Handmaid's Tale, I just don't know if they're going to get it, because you've got, what do we got? It's Stranger Things.
Yeah,
it's nominated for Best Drama.
Yep.
The Crown.
The Crown?
Crown's good. Yeah, I mean, both of them are good,
because
but
the Crown's getting ready to, they're changing their cast. So,
yes,
with
this
the new
is the
season.
last
So
chance to kind of reward the cast that we've had.
Right.
I just don't know, because the Emmys tend to kind of repeat their winners for like a couple years. We had like years of Mad Men, years of Breaking Bad, a couple years of Game of Thrones, and then it wasn't eligible last year. So Handmaid's Tale got Best Drama last year. So I'm curious whether it'll be 2 years of Handmaid's Tale. I think that could actually get it this year as well, unless Game of Thrones squeaks it back in. But
they could, yeah. I mean, and also too, if you look at like the comedy category, because Veep's not in it, of course, for the
first time in
I mean, it's not for good reasons, but the fact that Atlanta has 16 nominations, the most of any comedy, because Atlanta is personally my favorite show on television right now. So I'm so happy to see that Donald Glover and his crew are going to be.
I would love to see Atlanta get Best Comedy. Glow is in there for Netflix, and Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, but like those aren't really the kind of big prestige shows that are really saying something about society and the kind of culture that we're in, the way that Atlanta does. So I would like to see something like Atlanta, which is very thoughtful and very beautifully shot, actually get the Best Comedy.
Yeah, I've been hearing great things about that show. Do you think that there's anyone who's going to like blow everybody out, or is there a lot of good competition this year, David?
I think there's a lot of healthy competition this year. I got a few gripes about the nominations.
Do it.
You know,
Go
it's
for it.
Talk about it. Yeah, I want to hear it.
That's a cool thing to say here. So, in Best Drama, Stranger Things. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
it's a good show.
Yeah.
It's a good show. Stranger Things is a good show. I enjoyed it. I reviewed it. I gave it a good score. It's a positive season.
It's a fun show.
It's a fun show.
But where's Killing Eve?
Yes.
You know, hey, props to Sandra Oh.
Yes, I'm so glad she got Best Lead Actress
nomination for a lead actress in a drama.
Yay.
Great for her. And where's Counterpart?
You do love Counterpart.
I love Counterpart. Counterpart's a great series on Starz. J.K. Simmons, not nominated for lead actor. Where's J.K. Simmons?
I know, he's an Oscar winner, and he can't get any Emmy.
He plays two of them. There's two of them. And there's two J.K. Simmons, and he can't get nominated for playing one of them. So, but that's just a few gripes I have.
He's epic. What about you? Anything you want to air out, Laura?
No, I'm glad that Westworld got some love. I didn't love the season as a whole, potentially, but I did love the performances, so I'm really glad to see Tandy Newton get some, and Jeffrey Wright, and Ed Harris and Evan Rachel Wood also got nominations. But that's the thing, like, it's such a competitive time in TV that there are so many great performances. You're like, there's really not enough room for everyone. I would have loved to see Jodie Comer, Sandra Oh's co-star in Killing Eve, get a supporting actress nod, if not. I'm also surprised, Game of Thrones obviously still winning, but no Emilia Clarke and no Kit Harington. in the supporting actor or actress categories. They do have Lena Headey, Nikolai Coster-Waldau, and Peter Dinklage. They're all kind of representing for Game of Thrones, but it's interesting when it was such a big season for Dany and Jon that neither of them got any love.
Yeah, very true. So we've talked about snubs a little bit. Any surprises that you guys are like, oh, I'm happy to see that, or you're like, what? I don't know.
I think as much as I was complaining about Killing Eve not being a part of the best drama, the Sandra Oh nomination was a surprise, not because she doesn't deserve it, but I thought, like,
It's
this is a
such a
smaller
small
show.
show.
Maybe
Yeah.
season 2, it was renewed. Maybe in season 2 they'll get nominated, but I'm glad to see that she was nominated. That was a surprise.
Yeah. Letitia Wright, obviously the Black Panther breakout, also got a nomination for Best Supporting Actress, I think, or Best Lead Actress in a limited series for Black Mirror for her Black Museum episode. So I'm really glad to see that she got some love, because this is obviously a huge year for her. She might even be in the conversation for the Oscar race later this year, so really glad to see her getting some love.
Okay, awesome. And we obviously have tons of videos and all the shows that we are talking about, but specifically we want you to go and check out season 2 of Westworld Explained. We all discussed that.
We're still none the wiser.
Yeah, that is a doozy there. And also the best and worst of season 7 of Game of Thrones, another great video. And as always, be sure to follow and subscribe to IGN wherever you like to watch. Bye.